My ideal woman is someone with a great understanding of personal space.
She likes me, but maybe doesn't like me.
When I look for love, I'm looking for that best friend that can show it with a simple gaze.
Asexualpeoplemeet.com, it gives you everything that you need to find exactly what you're not sexually attracted to.
It's all right there. You just have to open your eyes and not touch it.
This is where asexualpeoplemeet.com. The box score starts now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins, the box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock here in sunny Los Angeles, and I'm joined by the Danettes, at least three of them. Seton, where the hell is McLovin?
I don't know, actually. He ran out of here in a huff. Yeah, curse words, obscenities, something about F this place, I'm out of here. And then that was it. That was the last I heard of him.
Attitude problem.
Is he still disappointed in his daughter?
Oh, boy, I don't know. I don't even want to touch that one because he's got two, he's already over his skis even with his daughters, those two little channels. But no, actually, Andrew's off shooting some bits for, at Belmont.
Okay,
That's really all I know about that, too.
Today's show was a man show as you guys dove into the topic of classic cars. Paulie, how close are cars and soccer in your spank bank?
Oh, wow, spank bank. More of a car fan, believe it or not, than soccer. I grew up, my dad liked cars, a lot of my family, I like motorcycles and stuff like that. You think you grow out of that stuff, but actually, the older you get, the more you get into cars because you know, there's other things you can't do. You know, I've never been able to dunk a basketball. When sports go away, cars don't go away.
You guys grow up watching some classic cars on TV. We have the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard. Who can forget the ever-popular Batmobile? And then there's good old Kit from Knight Rider. Guys, which one was your favorite? Fritzy, let's start with you.
I gotta go Batmobile, even though it was cool to have, the talking car with Kit and the General Lee. You know, you think of the little Daisy Duke shorts, at least I do. There's something about the Batmobile that I thought was pretty awesome. I had a little electric Batmobile car growing up that I was playing with, so that's the coolest one.
General Lee all day, every day. The world pretty much revolved around Dukes of Hazzard. I had a Dukes of Hazzard big wheel that I would probably take over the Batmobile too.
I'm gonna go off the menu, Brock. I'm gonna go the '78 Pontiac Firebird of one Smokey and the Bandits. Ooh. One of my favorite movies of all time. Loved it. Watched it with my dad, and so I would love that Smokey and the Bandit car.
Great car. I'll also go the triple white '70 Cadillac Eldorado of Boss Hogg. And the boss told us a story about the time he was out on the West Coast and got to ride in $1 million car.
I met this guy in Santa Monica, and he was friends of a friend. So he pulls up. You can hear him a half-mile away with this car. It sounded like a spaceship was landing, a rocket. Yeah. Pulls up, and he says, "Get in." And we go out, and all of a sudden we're on the freeway, and we are going fast. Buck 20, and he may have been out of second gear.
I have some question marks about that story. I believe he was in that vehicle, and I believe it had spaceship kind of sounds to it, and it was rocking, and it was a great experience. Once he starts getting into going 120 miles an hour, unless it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and no one was on the road or something, at least from my experience living in LA, even though they have several lanes on the freeway, I can't imagine getting more than a couple of seconds without crashing into someone or something at that rate of speed on an LA freeway, especially at any hour of the day where there's many, many cars on the traffic-filled Los Angeles roads.
Brock, a bunch of years ago, I got to go to Germany, and I drove the Autobahn. And there's 3 lanes in the Autobahn, and the fast lane is, of course, the left lane. I was going about 110, 112 miles an hour in an Audi Turbo, not a convertible. And cars were flying past me, where I was going 108, 110 miles an hour and just getting smoked. So that was like a different world.
Fritzy, is your hot box story the only good car story you have?
I had one other story that happened several years ago when I was in LA, and it forced me to kind of pull over to the side on the PCH in the Malibu area where something was being performed on me. I don't know how far we can go with this. Anyway, it was I was in my little Mustang convertible. It was a car that I bought from like an old lady for like $3 grand. It was like a car from the 80s, and I had a very pleasurable moment that would probably trump getting hotboxed by my friend and his girlfriend.
Now you were with somebody else, right?
I was with somebody else.
It wasn't the lady that you bought
it started out with me by myself, and then eventually the young lady that was sitting to my right decided to get involved, thankfully.
Dan doesn't currently own a classic car, but if he did, we asked him which of you guys he would trust the least with it. Here's what he said in this edition of Boss's Thoughts.
McLovin. There's no way I'd let him drive it. I wouldn't even let him be around it. He's an accident waiting to happen. And I've seen how he drives. No way. I don't even want to be on the road when McLovin's on the road. No. McLovin.
You know what? I got to tell you, we're still dealing with Fritzy's story there. Yeah, McLovin, though, not a good driver. And we've seen how we're discussing it because he's not a fast driver. He's just a bad driver. His car is a mess. He's always playing with stuff and talking and never looking at the road. He's going under the speed limit, but you feel very scared.
I would call McLovin a cautiously dangerous driver in that he drives so cautiously, and he's such like a safety-first driver that it's actually very dangerous being in the car with him.
And he sits all up on. He's a very gangly guy. And he sits all up on the wheel like this. He's looking around. He's always going like this with his glasses.
Stuff all over the place.
I'm still worried about that Fritzy story. Coming up, the guys argue about their fantasy bands, and we'll tell you who drank for 288 straight days. Stick around. Welcome back to the Box Score. Paul, you came across a fantasy build-your-own band list today. Did you guys ever figure out your list, or was there too much arguing?
Too much arguing, which is kind of the point. I don't think I really wanted any of us to figure out our list. I wrote mine out, but I kind of put it to the side, and I wanted to see what everybody did. But it's one of those things that once you open that door, I kind of had that in my back pocket all morning. Once you open that door, I knew Dan and Seton, and all of us in general, would go crazy on it.
Well, Dan and Seton did go crazy about it, and here's them going head-to-head in this clip.
Do you want a $9 John Bonham or a $4 Dave Grohl?
I'm going to go $4 Dave Grohl
just
because
as a drummer.
guitar.
No.
That's not the rules.
Yes, it is.
Who said?
He's listed there as a drummer, so he's only playing drums.
I'm not even taking any of them. I'm taking Ringo. Bang, biscuit.
Not on the list.
I don't care. I can bring these guys in for like a training camp, free agent camp.
All right, I'll take Kurt as a frontman then.
Kurt Cobain?
Sure.
Go get him.
You can't just sort of make up your own rules as you go along. If you're going to start bringing in people from off of the list, you might as well forget the whole money concept then and say like, well, I don't want John Bonham for $9, but I'll take him for $2, and then I have the best band ever. That's not how it works. There's rules and things put in place that's supposed to make this interesting.
Fritzy, you seem quiet through all of that. Why was that?
My music knowledge isn't anywhere near what these guys are, and based on my still kind of stuck in the 80s, there was no real, I didn't really have something strong to add to that. I just kind of entertained listening to them kind of banter back and forth about it.
I'll tell you what, one actually surprising omission from the list was Phil Collins as a drummer. No joke, that you would have been all over that.
That I would have been. But based on that list, I couldn't relate strongly enough to, I would have just been talking, which I've done many times, just to talk and say words, but I was entertained by listening to the rest of the group going at it.
Plus, how can you take Hall without Oates? That's a big dilemma.
You can't.
Big dilemma for Fritzy.
Things also got heated on the court as the boss played a little basketball and schooled Seton.
We're too unselfish.
You've never seen that shot before.
Nut shot. Ooh. Oh.
Oh, no! You reach IT!
Ball game!
Oh! Dang!
We're too unselfish.
Never put that ball in front of me.
Brutal, man. Brutal. He's always, you reach, I teach, never put it in front of me. I could see Paulie cutting towards the basket, and I was like, oh man, this is it, we got him. And I went to feed him the ball, and Dan had already picked my pocket, and then I panicked and didn't even cover Dan on defense. I just ran up to McLovin like this. I don't know what I was doing, but lesson learned, man. It's just gonna keep schooling people.
I would like another shot, because I think we kind of were goofing around early, and we had some good passes, some great teamwork. Seton and I, we're not good at basketball, so we know that we have to play as well together to get any points. But I think we could take them down if we played a 1.
We're not that strong of a swimmer. Seton, you got a little revenge here at the hands of McLovin. You posted him up and you went, no look, boom. Is it really too bad he's not here to whine about all this, Seton?
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Although I've tried that shot easily a dozen times. Or maybe it's even a dozen times a week, actually. I do that quite a bit because, Andrew, it's a tight space, and he's a big dude, and he blocks a lot of shots. And a lot of times that's really my only sort of offense. And it's nice to finally get one, especially when there was lunch on the line.
Now, there was lunch on the line, and right after our show is when we usually have lunch because it's lunchtime. And what did McLovin say to you about lunch that he was supposed to buy today for you?
Yeah, actually, he didn't really say anything.
I heard him say something.
He just left. Oh, he did?
He goes, oh, Seton, I'll get you lunch tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's never good.
As opposed to...
First of all, we all know that any bet involving lunch and Andrew is never going to happen. He's never paying that off. So it was really more like, oh, yeah, the lunch. Okay. Never
Gotta go.
Fritzy, you were left out of music and you were left out of gym class. Did either of those bother you?
They didn't. Music, you know, I had an opportunity to say something. I just chose not to because, again, I didn't think I had anything to add. As far as the game, they started playing. Dan's always worried about, because of my past medical history, that I'm fragile and I'm going to get hurt. That was part of it. But the real reason was I was waiting for a potential call on the hotline from Kings goalie Jonathan Quick. So I had spent the majority of the second half of the show obsessing over not missing that call because we didn't know if at any moment we were going to hear from Quick.
Once again, Todd was working while we were playing.
Seton, you seem like you were on your period today because you decided to bash the Spurs and LA Kings jersey for no reason. DP even said you were in a mood. What was up?
Wow, sorry. I didn't mean to hit you guys there where it hurts. You're Kings, nobody can criticize. Actually, I only said that because I knew I would get a reaction out of certain terrible producers there in LA. It's embarrassing. You know, I wasn't really in a bad mood today at all, but I did notice as soon as Dan came in today, he already started grinding on me a little bit with where we were, everyone in the room was making fun of someone, and everybody was dove in, and then all of a sudden Dan was just like, why are you so negative? And I was like, oh boy, this could go wrong today. I pulled a morning meeting power move, and I bought everybody breakfast.
That was very cool.
And I did that with the sole intent of changing the I'm going to have a really bad day today because all of a sudden I'm the negative guy in a bad mood and a buzzkill to, oh, hey, look, now I can't really rip Seton because he bought everybody breakfast.
Very generous.
So that was sort of my move, and it worked, I think, because I didn't get called negative again until like hour 3. So.
Let's switch gears from negative to positive, menstruation to hockey. Al Michaels is a huge Kings fan, and he joined the show today to share his passion for the game.
Would you get a Kings tattoo?
I'd get one of those removable ones, yeah. You could wash it off, but I will get one just for you.
What if I said you could have one? I can guarantee the Kings are going to win, but you have to get a Kings tattoo.
The back of my ankle.
Small one, though.
Very.
You guys are all misreading this. Albino's actually sleeved out. He's got a full bodysuit. Just nothing is showing for business purposes. So the reason that he went a small one back of the ankle, that's really the only real estate he's got left. He's literally got everything covered. It's full bodysuit.
Nice.
Do you believe in sleeves?
Ah,
yes.
Miracle.
Fritzy, if we could guarantee a Broncos championship, would you get maybe a little ink?
I would go with Al's initial response, which is one of those little Cracker Jack Toy Surprise wash-off ones. I don't think I'd be brave enough. Not the pain of it with the needle, but I'll hide behind religion. We're not supposed to get permanent tattoos in the Jewish religion. You can't get buried in a Jewish cemetery or something, even though there's a lot of Jewish traditions that I don't follow. You know, if I was going to get one, I'd get the little, you know, the D, the old logo, the D with the horse and the smoke coming out of the horse's snout. I think that's an amazing logo, but I'd probably want one that I can actually take off. So,
Paulie, how about a Cubs World Series?
Yes, I would do that in a second. I can't lie to you. My grandmother's 94. She's a Cubs fan. And I wouldn't even go small. If I knew that the result was going to be a World Series, I'd go like a full C on my back with the Cubs. I mean, like the guy in Entourage, remember he has Medellin on his back? I'd go like that, like Steve-O, with your own head on your back. I'm going to go big because I'm calling my shot.
I think I'd go sweet and sour over each nipple. Up next, we'll talk a little soccer and how do you say perv in French? More in just a moment.
What's up, guys? I'm Landon Donovan, and you're watching The Box Score on Audience DirecTV Channel 239.
Welcome back to The Box Score. Oh, Paulie, that's Landon Donovan. Hi. Paulie, huge news in soccer as FIFA says it won't look into new allegations of corruption. How much does this frustrate you as a fan?
As a fan, a lot, because USA lost to Qatar or Qatar for the World Cup 2022.
Very nice. Very nice.
Plenty of time.
Way to fit that in. Well, none of you are planning a trip to Brazil for the World Cup, but if you were, you'd probably have to learn the local language, help you get around. So that got us thinking, what foreign language would you guys like to learn most? Why don't we find out in another edition of...
Yo! Your Rose!
We know you guys are in a booth, but I think the name still sticks. Let's begin with Seton. What do you think Paulie said?
I'm going to say, Paulie, parla italiano.
Was it Italiano?
Italian. I know a little bit of Italian. I could probably carry on a very basic conversation. I could order a plate of pasta. Italian. I need to learn more.
Yeah, I've been to Italy a couple times, and man, I don't know enough words to get by very well, but it was fun trying. And just I know most of the words I know are some type of food or where is the restaurant?
Fritzy, ¿Dónde está? Fritzy, what's McLovin's answer?
I'm going to say McLovin went French.
Was it Francais?
Well, I already speak Spanish semi-fluently. I know enough French to get by in a Montreal bar scene. I think I'm going to have to go Mandarin because that would have gotten me a lot of jobs out of college. I don't know that it matters now, but it'd be cool.
That's just, I don't know why he has to get cute. You know, God forbid we should win one of these Know Your Row. You know, these guys destroy us all the time. And there's no way I was going to guess Mandarin as
You didn't take into account what he already knew, Fritzy.
I had no idea that the guy speaks like 11 other languages, apparently. But I know nothing, I don't know much about my backroom partner, which we make fun of all the time. But Mandarin, come on. That's, I know there's Mandarin oranges. I was no way I was going to guess that.
Paulie, tell me what Seton said.
This is tough. I want to go Gaelic. You could really go off the board there. But I want to go Italian as well. I'm going Gaelic, even though I'm wrong.
Wasn't the language of the river dance, Gaelic?
I would have to say Spanish, because that might actually go farther in life than, I don't know, other languages. Spanish.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I really didn't even want to remember what I answered on that one. I'm as surprised to hear Spanish as you are. But it makes sense, though, because I do sort of have this. I want to go to Barcelona a lot, and I also want to spend a ton of time in Mexico, sort of lost surfing. So both of them, that would come in handy with both of those. Although I really should be going Gaelic, actually.
There's no McLovin, so Paulie and Seton, each of you try and guess what Fritzy said.
I'm going to say Fritzy said French because of some type of...
Wait a minute. What does Adriana Lima speak?
Spanish.
She speaks hot.
I'm going to go French because he's going to work it into something to do with women.
I'm going to go Spanish, actually, because it has something to do with women.
Was it French or Spanish?
I'm going to go French because I think that's a very sexy language, and that could only help.
Oh, that's a walk-off.
Yeah, I mean, Fritzy, believe me, he's never going to learn another language at all. He's good with English. He probably got A's in English, but anything that could help him with women, he would do.
There's that Rosetta thing. I could look into that. But not only did he guess it right, but his explanation was like right on. That sexy language of French. Well done. You know, how could you go wrong there?
Today's winner, Paulie and Seton. Both got one right.
Yeah.
Yay! Up next, if you think Joe DiMaggio's streak was impressive, we have one twice as nice. More in a moment.
Here's the play at the plate. He's out! And here comes Buck Showalter. Looks like he wants a review.
Yeah, we have a manager's challenge.
Listen, all of
of our feeds just went down. I can't help you. I gotta send you to our emergency backup.
Replay!
Yeah, we have a manager challenge.
What game?
Boston, Baltimore.
Oh, hold on. I'm checking the dividend. Oh, nothing yet. Checking the Vitches. Oh, the Vitches is indecisive. Was it at the bottom of the fifth? What inning?
Oh, it's a sales commercial.
There's a cat with toast on his head. How are things out there? Oh, you need a replay. Hold on. It's printing something out. He was out. He was safe. He was safely out.
Got it.
Hey, go Cubbies!
Welcome back to the Box Score. Harry Caray, a legend among men. Guys, the story came out recently where a diary belonging to Harry turned up and tracked every drink he had in 1972. For those counting, it was 288 straight days. Paulie, how epic is that? And do you and Seton have similar streaks?
Ooh, I'm not surprised by Harry. Harry drank whilst calling national baseball games, so why is he going to go have a pop after? I have a couple, Brock. One time in college, I think I was a sophomore, I went out for 21 straight days to the bars, and one of my fraternity brothers actually pulled me aside and goes, dude, you gotta pump the brakes a little bit. And then there was another time I went on spring break, and at the end of spring break and Sunday when everyone was leaving to go home, I decided to stay at spring break for an extra week and skip my classes.
I would have to admit that I've crushed that streak many times over on many different occasions throughout life. So, and none of them are any particularly interesting stories. It's usually either me at a bar or me at home, not in any exotic locale. So that's sort of pathetic, actually.
I've had a number of questionable streaks, but nothing that involved consuming alcohol, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
What was the longest streak you ever had with anything?
Longest streak I ever had with anything?
Like something maybe not even positive.
I remember going about 5-6 days without going to the bathroom, number 2, and then it turned out that there was some type of bowel obstruction involved, so it really wasn't pleasant and it wasn't particularly fun or something that I really brag about very much. But since you asked, I guess that would be a streak that of discomfort.
You're Joe DiMaggio. Oh.
Yeah, and I think I had like this big chocolate bar of X-Lax or whatever they had back then, and I was gnawing on that for a while, and then got things moving.
The gates open.
Yeah, but if you go like 4, 5, 6 days, the boulders that come out of you. Anyway, just not good.
All right, how many guests tomorrow, Fritzy? Number 2 or 2 guests?
We have, I think we have about 2. Former NFL running back Clinton Portis may join us. Jason Gay of the Wall Street Journal talking about the boringly great Spurs, and we may hear from Grant Hill. A lot of maybes this week. I'm trying. We've been kind of piecing it together on the fly. Unfortunately, I'm not doing my job very well this week, but we'll get there.
Thanks for watching the Box Score. Set your DVR or tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, only on Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer. My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the Box Score. Holy cow!